Hey, this is DM Allen. Thanks for joining us once again for another week of awesomeness. Let's just get it started.
Last time on RWA, our party met up with the Undying Sage at last.
The Undying Sage is on his way.
And finally, all pieces of 6 are now collected.
The frozen rope. The last piece of 6.
The party headed towards Camp Kygal and have managed to find Bond's long-lost home.
The ship moves towards the bubble, and as you pierce it, everybody can see that this is it was once an agrarian society. Many farms were here. Now it has become a fort.
It is now time for the Order of the Obsidian Flame to join with the Protected.
You guys have had 30 days.
Kinian returns with Sarissa, who's been shrunk down, and from a feeling of like overjoy and a little bit of nervousness because now Sarissa and Rings are together. Kinian shows Sarissa around, wants to show off his airship because he's proud of it. He's a captain. He's trying to impress Sarissa.
Without being too obvious to Rings.
Without being too obvious to Rings, true. And Kinian takes her into his quarters, and essentially he starts rooting around behind some boards, and he's got kind of a smuggler's hold in his room, and he pulls out of the smuggler's hold the comb that Sarissa gave him, and just like wanted to show her that he still had it, essentially. And seeks to essentially just encourage her, let her know that, hey, there won't be any anti-giant sentiment on his watch, and to not be too concerned. And out of his portable hole, he produces the Wand of Orcus.
I was just about to ask where that was at.
Yeah. She says, Where did you get that thing? That's profoundly evil looking.
I killed a big demon thing.
I'm impressed. Okay, so what are you intending to do with it?
Use it to defeat more evil.
I like that. I like that idea. Try not to let the evil overtake you, though. I mean, something like this has got to permeate evil, like just completely radiate it.
Well, that's why I've got a piece of you within me, and I like wrap my chest.
I think she is like smiling at you and kind of looking at you with like just this look of adornment.
Kyo's going to, it's not really a scene so much.
Sure.
It's just he's going to scour the entire camp.
Okay.
Through the dishes, looking for forks that give him a sense of, otherness.
Okay.
And I'm sure that creates a lot of interesting,
shenanigans.
I think what actually, like, so you're looking for forks and you're like gathering some, and I think because you're looking for a tuning fork, right? Like for plane shift.
Yeah. Kyo's got in his head that it's just forks.
Yeah. And so like I think you find one and you're like, oh great, this is a good one, and then you find one that's better, so you leave the old one there, and so like everybody else like through the camp throughout the next 30 days or so, you start hearing about like people complaining that their forks are going missing, or like their forks aren't the forks that they own, and just general confusion. Somebody thinks it's one of the kids that's playing a joke on the on the community.
And the other thing is he's going to have a book the whole month, and he's going to be listing people by height.
Oh, all right. So
to determine trustworthiness.
so good. Oh, I
I
love
don't know
it.
how you
Which
come
way
up
does it
with
go?
this stuff.
Well,
Shorter is
shorter
better?
the more trusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's obvious
he's-
exceptions.
That's
Keo doesn't like giants
Yeah.
for good reason.
Kinian's probably the second
Yep.
tallest.
Yep. And
With
Sarissa's
Sarissa being the tallest.
Yes.
And see, that's Kinian's already betrayed him in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously his system's right.
It is one of my names.
Who else want to accomplish things? Oh.
I do want to say though, during that time frame,
Mhm.
that Kinian would have sought out Bon and potentially even Sarissa for combat training,
Oh, sure. Sure.
like people that are strong enough to fight. I'd probably do a fighting pit.
Oh,
then
that's
Kenyan-
fucking awesome.
Kenyan could be
Just
a
like
pirate
home.
king
Yeah.
general. Like,
Yeah. So like you make your own basin, like the circular fighting pit. Okay. All right. So yeah, Kinian digs out like the small, like slightly dipped saucer in the ground, and it's a really nice circle with stones around it, and has started fights, like a fight club. One of the people who actually like super enjoys the fighting pit is a protected that calls himself Grant. He looks a lot like Bon, just older, and he's a monk that favors like fire and stuff like that, and he spends a lot of time like training with troops in there and sparring with you and stuff like that. Yeah, I like that. Nice.
If I see anyone giving Bon shit, I'm totally gonna challenge them.
Okay.
In the pit.
Okay.
So Tanuvial actually participates in the fighting pit a little bit, just to get in some more practice with her Lightbringer, and also just kind of that fighting camaraderie that she used to have a lot with soldiers that she hasn't quite had in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone kind of notices that she's also spending a lot of time with Vodette, like off in the woods or whatever scenery
over
there is.
by the fields. Yeah, because this is all like it's old field area.
Okay.
It used to be all like a farming town, like a really big farming town.
Okay.
But now it's kind of lost its farming edge because they've been preparing for war. So yeah. So off like by the rye fields or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking cleric-y things. And then besides that, I'm just smashing things with my Lightbringer.
Nice. Did Manette have things?
So what I'd like is to somehow get around about 14,000 experience. But in lieu of that, I'd be helping smith and enchant whatever
Okay.
arms and armor.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would say the smithing and magic work gave you, we'll say 2,000 experience, just from doing all of that. And what that also gains is the armor. The army is now that much more potent. They weren't decked out in any magical armor, and now they've got some way to protect themselves against like demonic forces and stuff like that. So nice, very good.
I've got a few.
Okay. All right.
So first thing first, are there population centers within reach for a month?
Walking reach. Yes.
He's got wings.
By any means, not
By any
necessarily
means?
for me, but for
Okay.
any of the SMR.
Yes. Yeah. And you guys have the teleportation circle, so I mean it kind of
of
unlocks a
them?
lot of both of them. So it kind of unlocks a lot of potential for you.
I think the first thing Bon would try to do is send out 2 groups of people in the army First group being recruiters for non-SMR.
Okay.
So nearest population centers, your plane needs you, and
Sure.
Big Uncle Sam posters and stuff
I'll
like
help
that.
paint them.
The material plane.
For something like that around here, it's not going to be until you get closer to Waterdeep. Candlekeep is just north, and the next biggest city was Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate is wiped out.
Yeah.
So there's not really a good population pool to pull from, unless you get to the big cities like Neverwinter, Waterdeep, Everland, stuff like that.
All right, well, I'll send at least a couple out then to, in theory, get back during the war kind of deal.
Okay. All right.
Don't we have a chapter of the Obsidian Flame in Everland?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they could go there and
I
Yeah.
would send somebody to Candledeep too to essentially
Candlekeep?
Candlekeep. I said Candledeep, didn't I?
You did?
I thought Candlekeep was basically empty.
It was, but it should have some amount of people there now.
Yep. Bon set up some groundwork and then did the obsidian flame thing and walked away.
I mean, always be branding, right?
Yep. Okay.
And then the second group of people would be scouts. So I would want certain ASMR that are good at staying hidden to go find the groups of demons and either magically send back reports on them or just tail them and kind of like stay ahead of them if they're heading towards us, kind of a deal.
How many people do you send out for recruiting? 10?
Yeah, 10 will be good.
Okay, how about scouts?
I would ask the other generals what they think.
Let's see. So,
I'd say probably 20 to 30 if they're going to be going in a lot of
Fly
different directions.
okay.
Probably 20.
We'll go with 20.
20? All right. All right, so that leaves...
Hello, Jeff. 10.
I also give Tin a field promotion to whatever she wants.
All right, so that leaves 270. So, during that 30 days, Bon, you have another meeting with the generals, General Valor, General Delight, and General Devout. In this meeting, you're sitting around this square table, like you saw previously in the quick meeting that you had. You have the planar map that's sitting on the table, and there's all these pieces that are placed very specifically along each of these planes, and you see a big mixing in the center in the material plane. You all sit around this map, and the generals start discussing what's been going on. Delight says, "No, Bon, it's been a long time since you've been gone. It pains me to tell you that we've had 3 protected fall to the forces of chaos. Obviously your sister, Boo, and you might be familiar with a protected name. He revealed his name, his true name, to be Dander. And then from what you've been telling us, you've ran into the third." During this conversation, you see Valor is like eyes directly to you, but you see like his eyes flutter to the sword, to Celestia's might. And he looks kind of distracted, like he's feeling kind of angry towards you, but also he's distracted with all the other things he's been taking care of. Delight continues and she says, "Now these 3, they have taken allegiance to some demon lords. Boone, your sister, has allied herself with the Demogorgon. Are you familiar with who the Demogorgon is?"
No, I don't really know much about the Demogorgon.
The Demogorgon is the prince of demons. He is one of the many, and he seems to be leading all of the demons, and that's what we've been told by our devas to be the leading cause of why they're coming into our plane. It's very odd that forces of chaos align themselves, and when they do, they tend to align themselves underneath a powerful entity. Like we learned in school, the Chaos Wars was led by Miska the wolf spider. And Miska was the aligning force there. And now it's the Demogorgon.
What do you think drew him away?
Maybe the rigid structure of our community. A lot of them were rough and tumble teenagers. They didn't obey by the laws. They vandalized. They caused general havoc. Maybe it was the fact that they couldn't live free, in their terms at least.
Do you think we can bring them back, or do you think they're
It's not
lost
unheard
forever?
of. It's not unheard of to bring back Fallen. It's said to be a Herculean effort, but it's not impossible. The key is you need to satisfy the need for freedom, but you need to get them to buy in to the need of law and structure. And that's a tough thing to accomplish. Now, on to other matters. How are you getting us out of here?
We got the pieces of 6 to make the gate, so we can just make the gate, and
We just get out of here?
Ding,
That's
ding, ding,
how
ding.
that works?
I think. I don't know.
Okay. Do you know how long the gate opens for?
I don't really know much about the gate. I think Kinian's friend. Do you ever have that moment where you're like, I know a name,
Sarissa.
Sarissa.
Oh God, Manette.
Holy shit! How long have you been here?
Probably a while, actually. Let's be real.
I think.
We're all here.
Oh my God, Keo too.
Keo's got his wizard hat with the front and back pinned up.
Okay.
So it's like one of those sideways admiral hats.
Okay.
And he's got one hand in his robe.
Nice.
I think Sarissa would know the details of the pieces of 6 best. So we should outsource that task to her knowledge.
Valor says, "What's your intent with the 30 troops you've dispatched? It's been a few days now, and some of the scouts haven't returned."
Well, it's in wartime. It's an important fact of war to know your enemy and know where they are. And as the tiny force of 300 that we are, we're going to need things in order to pull this off. All of us have to be focused on the fight. We're going to need people to bring us supplies. We're going to need people to bolster our troops during the fighting. We're going to need people to do things that we can't do during the fighting, such as man ballista and, run food across the lines and fill in the gaps where we fall and stuff like that. So we need new recruits, and we need to know where our enemies are.
Do we wait for them? And how long? How long do we wait?
I think as soon as we start getting scout reports, we will have a better idea about when we can leave. It might be a good idea to move the bulk of our force through and then wait for the remainders until we can't wait anymore, and then move the rest through.
All right. Is there anything more you need to accomplish?
Well, I haven't been back home long. What do you think we need to do?
I think it's train and wait until you are ready to open the gate. We're on your time.
Okay.
So, you were waving your hand. Did you have something?
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
Something I just now thought of and probably would have initiated early on in this month of downtime is communicating with Lariel Silverhand
Okay.
to see if there would be any sort of like combat casters that she's familiar with that she could send our way to help bolster our forces. Any other sort of military. I mean, obviously, we don't have like unlimited funds to like hire mercenaries or whatever, but she understands I think the state of the world enough to know that if we're mounting an offense to try and take things on, that she would call in favors to help us out.
So that's really good you brought that up. What you learned from that, like those exchanges, is that Waterdeep has been under constant attack, and you're hearing that a lot of what you would consider like the points of light, like Everland and Neverwinter and Lascan and stuff like that, like those bigger cities, they're being pestered by more and more demonic attacks. So resources are quite thin currently. So no, probably she wouldn't be able to spare anyone.
I have a question.
Dang.
But that's good. You got some knowledge out of it. So, what's up? What's your question?
So the obsidian flame, it's like actually around where we're at? Question mark.
Manette might be able to answer that a little bit.
It's where we're heading. It's on Mount
okay.
Celestia.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's an object.
Well, I know there's an object, but I just remember talk about it like last session and stuff, and I was like, wait, are there people with information here? Because then I will interrogate them.
Yeah, the entire populace here has like obsidian flame logo type things, like zip up hoodies and stuff like that. You know,
they've been shopping at the online store.
Yeah. The hot topic here is just all obsidian flame stuff.
But it's more like just carrying the symbols that have been passed down type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's moved from like a symbol, like a branding symbol, like created by the obsidian flame, down to like something. It went from something to show off as like an emblem, and now is like tattoos and stylized.
A lot of people probably don't even fully understand the
right.
It's gone from heraldry to Nike swoosh.
Right. Okay. So what's up?
Hearing the word that all these cities are in trouble, Kyo sends forward letters to all the branches of the Voice.
Okay.
To publish articles asking for the kobolds of the cities to come forth from the sewers and,
all right,
take up their draconic duty to defend the lesser races.
All right. Some of like the proof copies that Spitz sends back is like a detailed drawing of what they remember of you, and it's like you in your hat, and you're like pointing towards, and it says, "We need you to protect the lesser races." All right, that's awesome. So Bond, you had more, I think, right?
Yeah, I wanted to spend like a day of the 30 with my family.
Okay. Yeah, you catch up with your mom, Malice, is how she introduces herself to you now. Her original, or her name as you knew it, was Alice, and your father Grant, whose full name now is Conflagrant.
What was the guy that liked the fighting pits? Is
Grant.
that Grant?
Yep.
So Bond's dad?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He likes the fighting pits.
Yeah, what you find out is they are the top warriors in Valor's army. Valor. So what the feeling you've gotten from this is Delight is the generals of all of the clerics, and
Of most of the clerics.
yeah, of the protected clerics. And then
It's okay, I'll protect you.
and then Valor is the sword, right? He is the one that controls the attack. And Devout is kind of the head general, the person in charge making the final calls. And you've actually you've found out like she's kind of an unbending bitch. She's really, she's not a bad person, but she is letter of the law kind of person. It's that Marine type mentality where, if you're not measuring out where your gloves go every morning and stuff like that, like you've broken system, right? The troops around camp lovingly call her Mama Bear. Because of how ornery she can get, and also because she kind of runs the show. But the reason why I give you that background is because your parents are the top fighters in Valor's army. They are the ones that are training. They are the ones that are basically running the show underneath him.
Did Bond learn fighting from his parents, or was it like when you were at the monastery, when you were off on your own?
It would have been in the monastery.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And what you remember, I think your dad was probably a very, very calm person for the most part. When you were a child, he was very passionate, but now he's extremely passionate about the war and about protecting others and stuff like that. He's kind of got like this fire in his eyes, like he's just awakened. And yeah, do you have questions to ask them, or you just spend the day with them?
I would spend the day with them and probably open up with I was scared I killed my sister. I'm sorry I ran away.
It's a good start.
Yeah, I mean the general conversation really is forgiveness. They forgive you and for what happened, and they don't blame you for your sister becoming fallen, and they're proud of you for where you're at and how you survive through the world on your own. You're one of the you're one of the few protected to have known to survive after leaving this camp. The other person is Devout.
Celestia's Might is the sword that he gave me, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And it's also the nickname that is given to Valor. That's what the troops call him.
Okay.
So, all right, Kenyon.
Also, during the 30 days, Kenyon would have approached Sarissa once or twice.
Or more.
Otherwise
Sorry.
avoided her.
Like, there was probably some shenanigans with both of his ladies, essentially, trying to pull off whatever sexual nonsense that he could, get away with. But in addition to that, he would have been asking Sarissa how her progress was coming with alchemy.
Over this month, she's really been learning a lot. She says, well, with the giant potion you gave me, and with what I know about shrinking and such, I'm coming up with a near concoction to what my mother had created. I'm still pretty far out from the trials, but yeah, it's moving along. Are you looking for me to make a potion for you?
Well, let me know when you want to start trials. I got no problem with that. And an apprentice potion pops out of my quiver.
Okay.
And I just pound it.
She's like, no. And you're like, look.
Which one is it?
This is how ready I am to try random potions.
Do you want to roll for it, or you just
if you want to for shenanigans purposes?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Just to see how this goes down in front of Sarissa. A 6 and a 1.
6 first. All right.
It's a potion of blindness and invisibility.
Potion of impotence.
Whoa. No. So this is a potion of greater healing, with a side effect of bitter taste left in your mouth, and now things that once tasted good now taste bad.
Your favorite.
I roll that one all the time.
For 3 long rests. Yep. I think you might be allergic to pine nuts.
The funny thing is, like, the things that tasted bad taste good.
Yeah.
This is actually a blessing for me, because as I'm walking around attuned to the Wand of Orcus,
oh, sure,
all food around me starts spoiling and drink starts spoiling. So I eat really good for 3 days.
Days pass. Less and less of the scouts going out are coming back. At this point, you've lost probably about 50% of the scouts. Do you continue to send more out, like replenishing the troops?
50% would probably be the
That'd be
stop
20.
point.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be
Okay. So
10,
so
right?
you lost 10 people.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So that would be more. Their orders would change to be like a far lookout type job.
Yep. Late into the month at this point, right? Clouth has come to the Cloud Peaks, and he has his last son with him, riding on his back, and Vodette approaches Tin and he says, "Hey, so I wanted to talk to you about something. I've been noticing that young lady, Bond's friend," and he puts like air quotes in the air. He said, "I think she might be cheating on him."
What do you mean?
Well, so I was going to the bathroom at night, and, I like to go in the rye fields. Don't worry, it's not where we meet. And I saw her, she was back behind that schoolhouse that, like, Bond likes to pretend to be important at and stuff. And she was, like, just talking to the air, and I thought maybe she was, like, booty calling a guy or something, right? And I gave her her space, because I don't want to get in the middle of it, but it's kind of eating me alive now, and I don't know, I don't want to tell him, right?
So all you know is that you heard her talking and you couldn't see who or what she was talking to.
Right.
Did you overhear what she was saying?
No. Just I saw her talking, and I heard some stuff, but it wasn't wasn't anything important, I guess. It was just like talking about her day. You know, like when you talk to your parents, like you write them a letter and you tell them about the day. Kind of like that.
Well, if she's not giving away like war secrets or anything, I don't think it's a big concern as to who she's talking to. Unless you overhear something that is worrying.
Okay. All right.
Maybe she just has a little bit of psychosis for all we know.
That's true. Maybe she spent a long time in Chalt too, and all of her friends died.
Yeah. You know, that could be. And she hasn't found new friends yet besides Bon, so.
All right. And he goes, so this protection spell. I'm kind of thinking like we riff on that forbidden spell. What were you saying? Like what kind of monsters should we like hold out?
Well, we're going into a plane that has a lot of demons and devils, so...
We are? I thought we were going to the celestial plane.
Well, we are going to the celestial plane, but there's a lot of demons and devils that are going to be there fighting. I don't know about any other types of creatures that would be creatures we don't want to deal with, but we definitely know that we'll be fighting those kind of creatures, so we want to make sure that they don't come into our plane when we enter the celestial plane.
Oh, okay. So like I was kind of thinking like with the forbiddance, like you can't open a portal in it, but if we tone it down a little bit and we work around that, we can kind of make it so that we're just blocking people from the area and not blocking like travel. Because you're trying to you want to block. It's like a door, right? Like the door doesn't stop the portal from being there. It just stops people from walking through it.
Okay.
Do you like that
So
idea?
kind of like the door unlocks for some but not others?
Yeah. Even you
Okay.
could give people passwords. It's super awesome.
Well, I suppose because we do have one ally, Asmodeus, that would not be able to use it, so would a password allow him to get through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm DM Alan, and thank you so much for joining us once again for Roll with Advantage. This is Season 3, Episode 33. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being an amazing audience. We are especially grateful for our Patreon supporters. Thank you to all our patrons. If you want more information about how to get a little bit more out of Roll with Advantage and the other DM's Table products, and you want to help support the show and the DM's Table, then go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/DM's Table. While you're out on the internet, go check us out on Twitter at DM's Table and on Facebook on the DM's Table. It's there where you can DM us and request access to our Discord if you would like to just join as a fan or as somebody who is looking for a community of gamers that has a very positive feel. We absolutely love our Discord and we adore the people in it, and we really want you to join. So come join us. And if you've been loving Vodette, then go check out Ryan and Dawn's YouTube channel called Roll for Initiative. That's Roll the number 4 Initiative. It's a really fantastic channel, but let's have them tell you a little bit more about it. Here they are now.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dawn, and let's get ready to roll for initiative. We're a couple that does videos on board games. We also do reviews and Game Master diaries.
We also do interviews, gameplay tips, painting tutorials, and plenty more. If you like what we do here, then don't forget to subscribe and comment on the videos. So enjoy the videos here on Roll for Initiative. Bye!
Thank you guys, and go check them out. That's Roll for Initiative. Now let's talk about this week's sponsors. Our first sponsor this week is MetallicDiceGames.com. Go check out MetallicDiceGames.com for all their amazing dice and dice accessories. They have a fantastic selection of all things RPG dice related, and it's really, really great. And while you're there, use our coupon code DMSTable10. That's DMSTable10. With that coupon code, you're going to get 10% off, and you're going to help support the show. So go check them out and use our coupon code. Now, let's talk about Audible. Audible is an amazing audiobook platform with over 180,000 books to choose from. They have just a vast selection of phenomenal books, and we absolutely love them. A lot of the crew from the show have Audible, and we adore it. It's a really great way for us to consume books while we're driving or while we're just working on things with our hands. You know, it is a fantastic service, and you really should go check it out. And if you use our affiliate link, you're going to get 2 free audiobooks, a 30-day free trial, and access to the Audible Originals content, which is just phenomenal. You should go check them out. Use our affiliate link. It's audibletrial.com/RWA. Go check them out. That's audibletrial.com/RWA. Now let's throw it over to Adam for this week's recommendation. Adam?
Hey nerds, have you heard of a fantasy biography? Check out The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, narrated by Nick Podell. It tells the story of Coat, or is it Quoth, or maybe Kingkiller, a man of legend slaying mythical beasts, mastering arcane secrets in his youth, conquering the minds of his elders, all in time to end up running an inn in his early 20s? Chronicler is a man who collects stories, and he has arrived to gather up quoths from a man known as Coat, an innkeeper of surprising youth. Is Coat the man of legend himself? Why isn't he still all-powerful? What could have led him to become an innkeeper with an intellect like his own could have led him down any path he chose? Check out The Name of the Wind today to hear the first part of the story of Quoth.
Thank you, Adam. Go check that book out, and let's talk about it over on our Discord in the reading section. We have a fantastic little reading part of our Discord where we talk about the books we're reading and what we're liking, what we're not liking, and it's really great to become exposed to a wide variety of fantastic books. Now, last but not least, let's talk about Incompetech. Incompetech.com has been with us from the beginning. We absolutely love Incompetech. They have phenomenal quality scores, and their website is just so easy to use. So if you're creative and you're looking for really great scores to throw as background music or to give your video that nice little punch, go check out Incompetech.com today. That's all I've got for you this week. Let's get back to the episode, and I'll see you out on the internet. Bye, guys. It is the end of the month. The 30 days of downtime is now. You all are kind of, getting ready, right, to go through this doorway. Sarissa kind of explains to you all. She says, "Now, I know it opens a gateway to the celestial plane, but I really don't know what's going to be on the other side. I from our history, it tells us, it's going to open up and we'll be able to talk with an M and meet with him. Whether or not he lets us use this portal the way we intend to, I'm not sure. Here's to hoping, though, I guess, right?"
Yeah.
As you are preparing for travel, one scout comes back from the missing 10. The problem is the scout comes back dead.
Ruh-roh.
That's okay. We can speak with the dead, right?
Yeah. You all are getting prepared, getting ready, and a body comes flying from like it's lost in the sun, right? And it slowly comes through, and it eventually just smashes into the ground in the center of like the grounds where everybody does like PT and all that stuff.
Oh, that's probably a really fucked up corpse then.
Yeah.
Was he dead before that?
Shrug. He's definitely dead now.
Was
It's
there
a giant
screaming
attack.
involved?
No. Nope.
It's giants, just like at that town with the goblins.
The town is shocked. What do you do?
I walk up.
I cast General Repose.
I produce the wand and fire off a charge
Okay.
and start
Speak with dead.
talking.
All right.
What the hell happened, soldier?
The demons killed me
Where?
south of town. How many questions do you have? I think it's
5. Yeah, there's 5.
How recently?
2 days.
I look back toward the group, essentially. Like, any other questions?
I would think maybe like how many?
How did you get back here?
Or... Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
Also, what did he learn?
What did you learn?
There are more forces than we could ever have imagined.
Maybe what's the last thing you remember? Because they don't know anything after they die. So if he was killed 2 days ago, then we don't really necessarily know how he got here now. But what his last moments were might give us some insight into that.
Kinian thinks about Tin's suggestion for a moment and then looks back toward Sarissa and Rings and says, "Is there anything that you'd like us to tell your family?"
He leaves you with a heartfelt message to his wife and children.
And I look over to Bon. I'm like, you're going to deliver that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Then again, Bond would have a lot more tact.
Kinian's bedside manner is lacking.
Yeah, that was Lieutenant Frederick. I think I had dinner with. I think his family were in the mess hall 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I'll go talk to him. Poor Freddy.
Poor Freddy. All right.
Does he have anything valuable visibly on him?
There it is.
Yeah, I think he's got like a silver like chain, like with like an obsidian flame, like I don't know, icon or whatever that hangs around it.
Kinian just like snaps it off of his neck, and I'm just like, doesn't need that now. and I just start like walking away.
Hey, that's property the protected.
And I just keep walking. Right.
As you're walking away, Kinian, your back faces the dead guy, and I don't know, about less than a mile away, you hear like this booming noise. It's like it sounds almost like a thunderclap.
Ooh.
Not me.
And you like start to look around, and some of the troops around you are like, look up, there's more. And you see like 6 or so dots that are in the air, and they start like getting larger and larger, and you see they've got 6 arms, and they look a lot like the demons that were chasing you guys down in Skullport. They've got swords and such, and they're falling to the ground, and they land with a boom. Some of them like land on top of Protected, and a fight breaks out between these demons.
No.
Do you got something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna, as I see them flying towards us, because I imagine that takes a little while.
Sure. Yeah.
I twin a greater invisibility for myself and the shortest member of our party, other than me.
That's me.
All right.
I hide really good, apparently.
Yeah. All right, so
Nothing to notice here.
the demons drop out of the air, and some of them land on the protected, and you hear more claps of thunder in the distance, and more speckles are in the air. Some of these demons look like almost like pig-nosed dogs, with like big, long, floppy ears, and as they hit the ground, like they splat and die, and they start to turn into like the dust, the smoke, the burning, what demons do when they die, and they start to disintegrate, and you can kind of see where Minette is, because you see the disintegration start to cycle in the air
And move around
float
something. Yeah.
around him and disappear like near his hip.
Now, is it just the 6 that landed and exploded, or is there more than 6?
There's more than 6.
Okay, it was just 6
Yeah.
initially, and then
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
I'd be on the closest one immediately.
Kinian's like, ha ha! And he like starts like jumping in and fighting. The starting of battle is happening around you, and you're noticing some of these dogs are landing like, I don't know, 30 feet out in front of you, and they're dying, and the smoke isn't coming towards you.
Okay, so it does have that pattern of like in a certain range.
Yeah. Yep. It's just no longer the entire plane.
Then
30
I am going to try and put myself in, I guess, range of the demons.
Okay.
As much as I can.
Okay. Like you're like running through and trying to avoid like melee, but
Yeah.
trying to make sure that those who die for good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's starting to look real bad for our people. Like
Sure.
how well are our forces holding up against this surprise attack?
Currently, so they were surprised at first, and now it's starting to become easy. Like it was more of the general surprise that caught them off guard. But otherwise, this is not difficult for them. These are very well trained soldiers.
Okay.
And off towards like where you saw the writing, the old boundaries of the town, you see these tentacles like punch through space, and you see them like carve out tears, and those tears start to split apart, and you see several of them, and you start to see them like you're kind of looking around, and as you're looking around, you see holes popping up around, and they're starting to surround the town.
Damn.
We might need to get out of here. I say that over the ring.
Yeah,
Out of
let's get out of
curiosity,
here.
are we able to? Does it look like there's like old magic around the town's perimeter that is blocking them, and they're trying to pierce it, or that's just how they happen to be deciding to encircle us?
From what used to be there used to be a protection,
Okay.
and there is no longer protection.
Okay.
And so these are kind of like quote unquote jump points, right? Like they're just landing in this area and coming to the town within like a formation distance.
Okay.
You see like one abnormally large rift opens up, and a familiar sight presents itself to you. 2 Malideus walk
damn it.
through, and behind the Malideus is this stunningly handsome man who has like this gloom of darkness around him. He's got this massively large hammer that he's holding in his hands, and he like spins it around in one hand and hits one of the Malideus on the back, like near the lower bits of like where the hip and the spine come together, somewhere above there. And you hear this like thunderclap, this boof, and the Malideus comes launching towards you guys. Let's roll initiative.
Pretty dope visuals, man.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you.
Super
Come on,
badass.
big die. Let's see how you're doing.
As an aside, I find it humorous that the Ordning has
Kinda suck using that
destroyed
die.
the storm giants and the giant hierarchy, and it's almost as if an Ordning of its own has appeared within the demons.
So off in the distance, I'll get your numbers in a second. I'm just going to do some elaboration while I'm setting stuff up. Off in the distance, you see Klauth pop into his dragon form and so does his son. You see your friends, Sans Wing. Yeah. In fact, I think that's his name now is Sans Wing.
Sans.
Sans. You see Asmodeus pop into his full devil protected self, and you see your friends start plunging into battle. All right, Kinian had a 15,
just like last time.
Good grief. Consistency. All right, let's do Bon.
18.
18 for Bon. 10.
21.
Blackjack.
Keo. 4. And Manette. 19. What is your stealth currently?
27.
Okay, so how do you guys want to be in this in this battlefield? You're surrounded from all ends. So how do you want to form yourself? I assume you guys are kind of around each other.
Probably. At least ish.
Fighting circle. There's a smaller amount of us, so I imagine us and the angels would all basically group up in the center because we're fighting all.
So they can fireball us.
Yeah.
in a large circle, maybe.
A large circle, essentially, protect the middle, the casters in the center.
Sure. Okay. So, so we'll say Minette and Vodette and maybe Keo are in the back. And let's say Bon and Kinian and Tin. Do you want to be in the front, Tin?
Relatively, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Tin, it is your go. The Malideus lands directly in front of you guys, within running distance. It lands just on 2 feet and kind of moves with the inertia and stands up and is brandishing this demonic black axe that sheens in the light. A snake head whips out from the back and is hissing and snapping in your guys' directions. What do you do?
So I will just activate my wings and then use my movement to go up 40 feet because I think I had it was 30 feet tall.
Okay.
And then
the Malideus, how tall is it?
Yeah, the
Malideus is huge, so
15-ish.
And then with the snake head, probably 30-foot reach.
It's got pretty good reach. You guys remember it has 15-foot reach, so yeah.
Okay.
30 foot at max.
Okay, so I'm going 40 feet because that was my whole thing. Is I remember last time what its range was.
Yeah, you're just trying to get out of its range vertically. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's my turn.
All right. You fly up into the air, and as you do, you see more of these dog-like creatures, and they're smashing into the ground. And you see some of them that are dying. They're starting to pool into these black pools of ichor instead of burning away. And as they pool, the pools start to connect, and you see more dogs coming up out of these pools.
Oh.
I'm going to stop calling them dogs, and I'm going to start calling them dretches. All right. It is Minette, your turn.
I haste Kinian, and then I whisper in Bon's ear some tactical information about the Malideus that gives him advantage on his next attack.
Okay.
Ooh.
As a bonus action.
Like a mastermind.
Like a master of tactics.
All right. The Malideus is going to use a legendary action. You see the Malideus disappear from view, and Minette, you feel him behind you. He teleported.
Great.
Can you see invisibility then?
Seems to.
Well, he's got a passive perception of 30, I think, or 31.
Yeah,
you remember them to
good.
be stupid good at perception.
Because of the two heads and all that.
Please do hold me to this. I forgot to say that he was casting a spell.
Yeah.
I don't want to rob you anymore, so please chide me for garbage play.
Yeah, I could have totally stopped him from teleport.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bon, your turn.
Who's the dragon guy up there? Or is that
That's
just...
Cloud. He's outside of the battle. He's in the distance fighting others.
He's a
He
friend.
seems to be friendly.
Yeah.
For the time being.
I mean, the enemy of my enemy isn't as much my enemy.
I'm gonna yell out to the troops. I'm gonna yell, archers, take down those mud puppies. You know, the dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Salamander.
Salamanders.
Sorry, AJ's thing changed what I was gonna do. So, yeah, I'll walk up to Mr. Molly,
Okay.
and I'm gonna.
Yo, you dealing?
Does a 30 hit?
I hope so.
With the Molly Deus. Yep.
23 is the other one. Does that also hit?
Yeah. Yep. 2 hits.
Chaotic.
Yes, very.
46 points of magical slashing damage as Celestia's Might whips around.
All right.
and
46.
Slices into him.
Can I just pick up Bon and use him as a weapon? Like, just hold that sword out.
And then,
It's the flaming, raging, poisonous sword of doom.
When you swing him, it's like your momentum also adds to the damage.
then I'm gonna back up and start screaming orders at troops and stuff, trying to get everybody organized.
All right. As you are screaming orders, more and more of these dretches are flying in. You see some of the 6-armed demons are coming in too. You remember these to be a Yugoloth type fiends for hire. You hear another echoing blast as another Mali Deus comes flying in from the distance. It is going to be... he's going to take a legendary action, the one that's actively working. He moves towards you, Manette, very much seeing you, and he attacks.
Warding flash.
He already
He's
has
still got a
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Oh,
from
okay,
the
yeah.
cloak.
That's, never mind. I'll wait until
Although
I see.
I don't really know how that's going to work with invisibility and
Yeah,
all that.
it doesn't. It
Does
doesn't.
he have true sight? Because he might see through the illusion and...
Yes, he does have true sight, so he would see through the illusion. So he doesn't have... Yeah, so it would help.
Okay.
Okay, so you warding flare.
Yeah, I see how it seems to know exactly where it's aiming for.
Yep. That is going to be a 20, a straight 20.
At disadvantage?
Not natural. Yeah.
Jeez.
Fuck.
Yep. Does that hit you?
It does.
All
and my
right.
shield would only make it a tie.
All right. Oh, that's right. You've got a shield. All right. I'll remember that if you crank it back in. Or did you not use it? It's fair for you to say you didn't use it because I did tell you the number. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So it comes in non-natural 20, so you survive. Maybe. And you take 15 points of slashing damage.
He doesn't take any of that slashing damage.
How so?
So my ancestors show up, and
Sweet.
I have them absorb 19 damage, reflecting whatever that damage is done back onto it.
Nice. All right.
And I keep concentration on the
Because you took no damage, right?
Yep. Nice. It tries to hit you, and as it as it strikes you, one of Kinian's ancestors comes in with an axe and holds it out, and the reverberation damages this Mali Deus.
Out of curiosity, where's our ship right now?
Why? Do you want to go there, or
I mean, maybe.
it's in the vicinity?
I mean, it depends on is it floating about in the air?
No.
Is it docked somewhere?
It's docked somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that's a good escape strategy for me to.
Because True Sight's not going to help it.
Right.
And then he can shoot it from wherever he's at.
Right. So, because you guys were preparing to go through a gate, the balloon's not up or anything like that. It's not prepared to fly.
Near-ish by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
It's my backup escape plan.
Kinian, your turn.
So, Raw,
Yeah.
the Wand of Orcus once a day can summon up 500 hit points worth of undead.
Okay.
Doesn't have to necessarily be undead in the area.
Okay.
They just come out within 300 feet of my choosing.
Okay.
I want 300 or 500 hit points worth of undead to appear on that Maladeus.
All right.
I want
The new one?
the biggest undead swarm as I hold up the Wand of Orcus to basically materialize coming out of the ground at its feet to basically give it a what the fuck moment. And with my hasted action, I run up to that boy that just swung at my
Seemingly
Invisibro.
nothing.
But I go basically where my ancestors just stop to hit, and I swing at the big boy.
At the attacking Maladeus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first attack on my turn, I can use Reckless,
All right.
so I'm going to attack recklessly. That's a hit. Die. So you need the necrotic separate.
Yes. I forgot to roll in Vodette. Vodette's going to be off in the distance fighting with friends. Because that just makes it way easier.
So 33 bludgeoning and 20 necrotic.
So what we've learned here is that Vodette has made more friends.
Yeah.
They're dead.
All right.
I mean,
So-
they might.
To explain that, call undead. When you're holding the wand, you use an action to conjure skeleton and zombies, basically calling forth as many of them as you can divide 500 hit points among. Each undead having average hit points, the undead magically rise up from the ground or otherwise form in unoccupied spaces within 300 feet of you and obey your commands until they're destroyed or until the dawn of the next day.
All right.
So they're there to take some hits.
All right. And it is now the Maladeus's turn.
He has disadvantage on everything but me.
All right. The Maladeus turns towards you, Kinian, and he has... he starts with his weapon attack on you.
You're glad of your armor right now.
Yeah, thankfully it's not hot here. I'm wearing my armor.
Let's see.
Plus
That's
2 AC from haste
Yeah?
as well.
Well, I was thinking more you can't be beheaded.
Yeah, it can't be beheaded.
Yeah.
Immune to
Yep.
crit
Yep.
hits.
that's a 24.
Yep.
That hits. And then we've got the wolf head. It bites at you. And that's higher. And we've got the snake that bites on you as well. It's going full out on you. And
Part of his damage is poison, thankfully,
yeah.
which I'm immune to.
Yeah. Yep. And that's going to hit as well with a 22. All right.
Yep. Meets.
Okay, so demonic weapon first. Demonic weapon is 3 plus 9 is 12 points of slashing damage. Wolf bite is 13 points of piercing damage. And the snake bite is 10 points of piercing damage.
17 total.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's my job.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is. And with that, he ends his turn and wants to cast a spell.
Kyo keeps his reaction because he's still invisible.
All right. He points his hand in the direction of Kyo, lining it up with tin, and he smiles as a lightning bolt flashes. Hey, thank you so much for listening. What a fantastic episode. We cannot wait for next week's episode. We hope you stick around to find out what happens next. If you want to find out more about the show, about our characters, or things like that, go check us out on dmstable.com/RWA. DM's Table has got information on how to contact us through Twitter or Facebook or things like that. Go check it out, and we'll see you out on the internet. See ya.